remember meeting Ron DeSantis in Lynchburg, Virginia. He was speaking to the whole school. I spoke only to the School of Government, but they had a lunch they hosted for both of us. And he looked at me and he said, that's a great idea. If Texas and Florida do this, it'll cover the country. Where are we in Texas and Florida? And this is where you need to step in and help. This is where we could use your help. Describe what happened in Florida. We were just in Tallahassee and then Austin.
Florida's been amazing. We spent over a week, actually over the weekend, back again in session for a panel.
And I'm going back again.
Yeah, you're back one more this next week as well. But really getting into all the key executive levels, key levels at the Senate, at the House, working with our analysts, the Office of Financial Regulation, all asking good questions to say, how do we lead with this in Florida? And how do we set up the right regulatory pieces to make sure the trust is there? That the right pieces are set up to make sure that this is a systemic system that Florida can really lead with. So I'm very encouraged by the questions they're asking, the process they're working through to make that happen there.
Well, I got to testify in that working group for the Senate Banking Committee. It was Treasurer Oaks and myself and the head of the Office Financial Regulation, and it was the
LBMA was there.
The lawyer for the LBMA talking about what a bullion depository should be like and the standards and so forth.
Purity of the gold, so that trust factor is there.
Yeah, so that was a great meeting, and I think we've got lots of good momentum there. We also have lots of good momentum in Texas, but there's still the naysayers. There's still the people who want to stop Americans from having money that they can count on, constitutional currency, mostly bankers and attorneys. And there's some great people that work for the banks, but just, it's new, we don't want to do this.
I would say it's banker associations, potentially, because this can be very good for the banks. In fact, Florida is looking at ways to make that banks be able to participate and differentiate their businesses from it. It's going to be awesome for those banks that understand it.
And Texas, too. Yeah. In Texas, in Florida, we've got to give a shout out to Representative Doug Bankson, who's also a pastor, and also Senator Ana Maria Rodriguez. Great bipartisan support there. And in Texas, we have bipartisan support. In fact, Representative Mark DeRazio, and we were just testifying, both you and I were called to testify, Representative DeRazio with his HB 1056 has 80 co-signers, but there's still those who say, no, you can't do it, don't do it, slow it down or whatever. We cannot afford to wait for this.